السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. اللهم صل وسلم وزد وبارك على عبدك ورسولك وحبيبك سيدنا محمد. So we're still in explanation of Hadith Jibreel, and last time we started talking about the 6 articles of Iman, and the last time we just built a foundation, that significance of Aqidah, and that our sources of knowledge here is reason, senses, and also the revelation. We talk about the existence of God, and we talk that our scholars, they mention this in all their books. Nowadays there is a lot of also evidence and the way you can tackle this issue for our youngsters. We talk also about that we end that Allah introduced Himself Tabaraka wa Ta'ala in the Quran. Believe in Allah, it means to know who is Allah. And Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala Himself introduced Himself to us in many places in the Quran. And before we start this, we want to emphasize here that all the articles of Iman, this is something unseen. So we can't say anything here except we bring evidence from the Quran or the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. When we talk about Allah, about the angels, about the books, about the day of judgment, this is the world of unseen. We need to bring evidence for that. That's why we go directly to the Quran. And inshallah, when we talk about the rest of the articles, we talk about how limited our knowledge is when we come to this. Okay, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala introduced Himself, and He said in Surah Al-Rahman, in 2 places, وَيَبْقَى وَجْهُ رَبِّكَ ذُو الْجَلَالِ وَالْإِكْرَامِ تَبَارَكَ اسْمُ رَبِّكَ ذِي الْجَلَالِ وَالْإِكْرَامِ. We can divide the names and attributes of Allah to 2 types. Number 1, Sifatul Jalal, and number 2, Sifatul Ikram. What's Jalal? Jalal is glorification. Jalal is absolute power. So that names of Allah, like He has absolute knowledge, absolute power. He controls everything. He is the king. All these type of names, this is Sifatul Jalal. Those attributes, when you learn about it, it will bring fear, it will bring glorification to your heart. Allah is the greatest. In the other hand, Sifatul Ikram is Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, out of His mercy and generosity, He named Himself Al-Ghafur, all forgiving, Ar-Rahman, the all merciful. So these 2 types, that number 1, look at Jalal, you'll find that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala owns everything in this universe, can do everything, He knows everything, He controls everything. We are nothing in this universe. That's the first step here to know Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. And then go to your weaknesses to see that you are nothing here in this universe. And then end with Sifatul Ikram, that Allah, out of His mercy, He take care of this human being, send to him many messengers, books, and invited us to be in Jannatul Firdaus. One of the fascinating surahs which affected me a lot in Quran is Suratul Insan, the only surah called the human. It starts with هل أتى على الإنسان حين من الدهر لم يكن شيئا مذكورا One day we were nothing, and Allah created us, a mingle of fluid. That mingle of fluid in the womb of our mothers go through a lot of stages. Then we come up as a baby to this life, crawling, learning how to stand, how to say the first word, how to do the first step. And after a while, that baby grow up. Allah Ta'ala invited the human being to be in Jannatul Firdaus. Suratul Insan is all about Jannah. Only 2 ayah is about punishment. The whole surah is about Jannah. What's the point here? From the mingle of fluid, which is nothing, to a guest of Almighty in Jannatul Firdaus. Look at this journey. And in the end of this journey, he said, وَسَقَاهُمْ رَبُّهُمْ شَرَابًا طَهُورًا. Allah provide for them drinks because the believers are the guests of Almighty. Who are we that Allah care about us? We are nothing, but out of His mercy. That's why we start with Sifatul Jalal. Tell you that Allah Ta'ala knows everything, owns everything, control everything. Nowadays, every time we discover something new in the universe or the human being body, that should make people more close to Allah Ta'ala. When they discover this telescope and they look at this universe, stars, planets, galaxies, amazing that Allah Ta'ala swear with this universe, فَلَا أُقْسِمُ بِمَوَاقِعِ النُّجُومِ. I do swear by this status of stars. وَإِنَّهُ لَقَسَمٌ لَوْ تَعْلَمُونَ عَظِيمٌ. And if you knew, it's indeed a great oath. And every day we discover something from this universe. Show us the meaning of this ayah. In that macro scale, when you come to the micro scale, inside our bodies there's another world of cells, DNA, atoms, something amazing. Allah said also in Quran, وَفِي أَنفُسِكُمْ أَفَلَا تُبْصِرُونَ. The signs that Allah is the creator is inside your body. You just need to reflect. I want you to give you 2 minutes of your time now. I want to show you this video. You can show it to your children. Just they will show you the macro scale when they look at it from the telescope, and the micro scale when they look at the microscope. So subhanallah, it's from the telescope in the beginning, that macro scale, and then to the microscope to the micro scale. And that's the absolute power of Allah. That's some of the absolute power. That His absolute power can create a huge thing in perfect way. And all the physical rules govern all of this thing. And you go also to the tiny thing. And you say the same thing also. And just the DNA, when you just read about the DNA, it's something, Innahullah. That's the creation of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. The one who created all of this, He knows every single thing in this also. Every single thing in the galaxy, in the planet, in the star, in the DNA, in the atoms, in the electrons go around the atoms. And those electrons go around the atoms anti-clockwise. It seems they do tawaf. You know, when they come to Kaaba, we start our tawaf, we make the Kaaba in our left side, not right side. We go anti-clockwise because we have a harmony with all the creation in the universe. That's why Allah said in Surah Al-Hajj, where the tawaf is, in Surah Al-Hajj, that everything is make sujood to Allah, but we don't know how. أَلَمْ تَرَ أَنَّ اللَّهَ يَسْجُدُ لَهُ مَنْ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ. Everything prostrate to Allah. وَالشَّمْسُ والقمر والنجوم والجبال والشجر والدواب وكثير من الناس. Stars, moons, sun, trees, mountains, and many people they reject because Allah gave human being choice. So if we accept the message, we just go with the rest of the universe. He knows everything in what you see now. That He said, وَعِنْدَهُ مَفَاتِحُ الْغَيْبِ لَا يَعْلَمُهَا إِلَّا هُ. He has the key of unseen. How's that? وَمَا تَسْقُطُ مِنْ وَرَقَةٍ إِلَّا يَعْلَمُهَا. Not even a single leaf fall down from the tree, Allah knows that leaf. And when did it fall down? And how many live in that tree? And how many inside that leaf of atoms? And everything He knows is written in a book, in a record. The one who knows everything, He knows everything about you. When you whisper to yourself, He knows the whispering. وَنَحْنُ أَقْرَبُ إِلَيْهِ مِنْ حَبْلِ الْوَرِيدِ. And you have two angels, their duty, their job, just to write down everything, record everything. So the one who knows all of this, and then He cared about the human being and named Himself the most merciful. When you know this absolute knowledge, absolute power, absolute control, that He is Al-Malik, the king of all the kings. What does that mean? It means He owns everything. Sometimes He reminds us that we own nothing. He said, أَنْفِقُوا مِمَّا جَعَلَكُمْ مُسْتَخْلَفِينَ فِيهِ. Give charity, donate to poor people of what I provide to you. He reminds us, even our money, who give us ability to gather that money, is Almighty. So actually we own nothing. And to remind us of that, He created our body system in a way that there is a lot of processes happen in our body and we don't aware about it. When you sleep, there's a lot of processes that your belly, when the food come to your, that body system, all of these things, the pumping of your heart, the blood circle. When you lose one of your kidney, you will know what does that mean. When they bring a big machine and you come 2 times or 3 times every week for the hospital just to clean your kidney, so you have that already and you don't appreciate it. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala sometimes tests some people with kidneys just to show us what a blessing is in your side, your body, and you take it as granted. You don't even think about it. So we think we own something. We say, it's my money, my car, my children, my. And one day He tests us and takes some of what He gave to us just to wake us up. Control everything, knows everything, absolute power. And however, all of this, He named Himself Al-Ghafoor, the all-forgiving. He named Himself Al-Ghaffar, the same root of forgiveness. Dhul Maghfira, the same roots. Al-Afu, the same meaning. A lot of His names come from the meaning of forgiveness. Why? He said to us, whatever you commit sins or you do something wrong, when you come to me one moment, I will accept you and forgive for you everything. And it's a big honor that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala give us the chance and forgive us. Because He can destroy us in one moment. He has billions of creation. He doesn't need us. But however, He named Himself Al-Ghafoor. More amazed than that, one of the names of the Quran, of the names of Allah, mentioned only 4 times in Quran. When I reflect upon this name, Subhanallah, this make you shy in front of Allah, make you like. Allah named Himself Ash-Shakur. Shakur means the appreciative, the thankful, the appreciative. Okay, I can understand if the human being is appreciative, is thankful, because Allah gave us everything. But for Allah Almighty, the one who owns everything, to name Himself the appreciative and the thankful, He thanks who? He thanks His servants. How? When we do a very little good deeds, He thanks us, so accept it from us, multiplies for us in a way that when you donate a piece of date in the sake of Allah, in the day of judgment, you'll come and you'll look at the mountain. Oh my Lord, what's this mountain of reward? That's the piece of date you donate in my sake. Can we imagine? So, named Himself Ash-Shakur, the appreciative. That when He needs, just if you do anything, do it in the sake of Him. Do it sincerely. Not in the sake of fame. You want people to praise you. Just in the sake of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. And the more you be good to the people or creation, the more He will reward you. He told us about a woman from the people of the book before us. She do everything, commit a lot of sins. And one day, that woman saw a dog. And that dog was very thirsty. He needs water, and he can't bring water from the well. So she said, that dog is reached that level of thirsty. Allah put mercy in her heart. So she went down to the well and brought the water, give it to the dog. Rasulullah said, فَشَكَرَ اللَّهُ لَهَا فَأَدْخَلَهَا الْجَنَّةِ. Allah thanks her to take care of dog. So, how Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala is this? When you read Sifatul Jalal, that Allah destroyed a nation just by sent for them a wind. Destroyed another nation, just put them in the sea. Destroyed another nation by a sound. And however, he named himself Ash-Shakur. And Ash-Shakur here, the appreciative or thankful, is that he said, if you commit a sin, he will never multiply it. The angels will write it one sin, that's it. But when you do good deeds, no. Multiply it to 10 good deeds, to 700, to more than that, depend of what is in your heart of glorification of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. That's why Ahlul Jannah, when they are in Jannah, they remember this name. In Surah Fatir, وَقَالُوا الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ الَّذِي أَذْهَبَ عَنَّا الْحَزَنَ إِنَّ رَبَّنَا لَغَفُورٌ شَكُورٌ. They are now in Jannah. They talk to each other. What a blessing that we are in Jannah forever. Indeed, Allah is Ghafoor, forgiving. Indeed, Allah is Shakur, thankful. Because if you make comparison, suppose someone lived for 100 years. In that 100 years, since he became adult, he dedicate his life just for the sake of Allah. He donate all his money. He pray a lot of sunnahs. He fast. He do everything in 100 years. Is his reward compared to be in Jannah forever? He could be in Jannah for 100 years. Is the reward here to be in Jannah? And Allah said to him, you will be young forever. You will never sick. You will never feel pain. Is the reward for 100 years to be with Rasulullah sallallahu visit him in his palace every single day? For just this few years? Is the reward that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala will give them ability, Ahlul Jannah? He will say to them, I will be pleased with you forever. And will give them ability to see Almighty. Is that compared to that? Nothing. But Allah is Shakur, the appreciative and the all thankful. That's why Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala introduced Himself to us in the Quran. In Surah Yusuf, He emphasized some of His names, very few. There is very few names of Allah in Surah Yusuf, and that's in purpose. He wants you to focus on these names and reflect these names to the context of the story. In the beginning, Yaqub said, Inna rabbaka alimun hakim. Alim, the all-knowing, Hakim, the all-wise. He repeats these two names 3 times in the surah. In the end also Yaqub said, Innahu huwa al-alimul hakim. In the end of the story, Yusuf said, Inna rabbi latifun lima yasha, innahu huwa al-alimul hakim. Allah is all-knowing, all-wise. And in the 3 times, they always mention Alim, the all-knowing, before the all-wise. Sometimes in Quran, he make the all-wise first. He wants to tell us, look at the story of Yusuf. He saw a dream while he was a child. And in that dream, the moon, the sun, the 11 planets prostrate to him. And in the end, we know the interpretation. It means Allah knows everything. And He gave a glance to Yaqub for that. But through that journey for more than 25 years, the story of Yusuf is the story of every one of us. That's why Allah Ta'ala didn't mention any miracles in this story. The only you can claim that the Yaqub is get his sight when he look at that shirt. That's the only one. Even that, some scholars said, when he cry a lot, that's not out of the sense of parents that could happen. But anyway, is that the miracle? Where is other miracle? There's nothing. Long story with no miracles. Because Allah wants that story to be the story of me and you. Every one of us will go through hardship like Yusuf. And do you realize that it's a circle? Hardship is. Hold the story. They throw him in the well, that's hardship. Straight away Allah sent caravan, get him out of the well. Is. Straight away he start another hardship. They sell him as a slave. Then one prime minister in Egypt, he bought him, that is. He will grow up in a palace. Then the fitna of the wife of Aziz, hardship. Yusuf أعرض عن هذا, is. Then again they put him in the jail. Then again he come, look at this. That's our life. Our life is like this. Don't forget that Allah is Alim and Hakim. Sometimes you say not by your tongue, but Allah doesn't know what I go through hardship. Allah knows everything. He is the one who planned all of this to test you. Alim is always with Hakim. He has a wisdom behind that. Look at the story of Yusuf. When you read the whole story, you say everything now fit in its place. That's also your story. But Allah tests you to know if you love Allah more than anything else. And Yusuf gives us the key. إِنَّهُ مَنْ يَتَّقِي وَيَصْبِرْ فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُضِيعُ أَجْرَ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. You need taqwa and you need sabr. It means when Allah tests you, there's a wisdom behind that because He is the all-wise. Inside that test, you need taqwa and you need patience. And inside the story, there's two types of test. There is a test, you can't do so much to react to this. You just need to contentment to say, oh Allah, I'm your slave. And there's a type of test, you have the choice to react to it. For the first one, when they put Yusuf in the well, there's no hope for Yusuf to get out without a help for someone else. So it's just to need, oh Allah, that's your qadar. I know it's from you, I will be patient. If you become sick, be patient. If some of your beloved relatives die suddenly, be patient. If Allah Ta'ala get you sick in this strong illness nowadays, be patient. That's the first type. Allah will want to remind that you are servant. And when you are patient and has taqwa, He will give you Jannah forever. The second type of test, you have choice to react. When the wife of Al-Aziz tried to make fitna of Yusuf with Yusuf, he has a choice. You can say no or yes. When Yusuf is a prime minister of Egypt that time, that's a lot of fitna. Yusuf always taqwa and sabr. You know, when the prisoners in the story of Yusuf describe Yusuf, they said, إِنَّا لَنَرَاكَ مِنَ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. we see you that you are a good man. Where he was that time? In the prison, in the jail. He never changed his character. Some people, when Allah tests them, when they are in poverty, they are very patient, humiliation. But when Allah opened the doors of wealth to them, they become different people, arrogant. Yusuf never changed his character. That statement, prisoners describe him. The same statement his brothers say to him when he was prime minister. Inna naraka min al-muhsinin. Point here is, Allah said one of his names also in Surah Yusuf. Wallahu ghalibun ala amrih. ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون. Allah is dominant upon any plan in this dunya. His plan that Yusuf will went there with that caravan to grow up in Egypt and become the head of the Egypt. If Allah set a plan, no one can change that plan. But His plan go in a process invisible. Latifun lima yasha. Latif means subtle. Mean a way it's invisible. You just need to trust Him. Trust your Lord, you will see something unbelievable in your life. That's one of His names, Alimun Hakim. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala always say, He is Ar-Razzaq, the provider. And He mentioned this name only one time in Quran, in Surah Al-Dhariyat. 5 times He say, Khayrul Raziqeen, Khayrul Raziqeen. But Ar-Razzaq, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. I created jinn and ins for one purpose, to worship me. ما أريد منهم من رزق وما أريد أن يطعمون. I don't want him to provide anything to me. I am the Razzaq. إن الله هو الرزاق. He is the only one can provide thing for you. He is the only one can give. And the only one can prevent. But you may ask yourself, but we see in our life that our relative gives to us some gifts. Our boss gives us the promotion. So people give to each other. That's right. Allah said to you, be certain that everything comes to you, Allah is the provider. He sent the gifts through the people and situation. I'll give you an example. If a man in a small village, one day a postman came to his house and knocked the door. And that postman come with that car with a lot of gifts. And that gift has the sign that it's come from the palace, royal sign. The postman said, all these gifts is from the king of this state. He heard that you have a good character, so he sent you all these gifts. The postman was very kind. He said, will you give me a permission to put that gift in your house and help you in all of this? So he spent 1 hour just help that poor man to put everything in its place. He smiled to his face. Do you need anything from me before I leave? Thank you. And the postman left. The people of the village came to that man, poor man. You are now in high status. The king himself remember you and send you all these gifts. So the man replied, you know, the postman was very nice. You know, the postman was very kind. If you see the postman, how he helped me in this. And they say, what do you talk about? You don't talk about the king. Oh, the postman. I don't know how I live without that postman. That's how we receive sometimes the gift from Allah. Allah sent the ni'am through people. But we forget about the one who sent us this, and we talk about the postman. If our child gets very ill and he needs surgery, and we found a very expert doctor, and he did that surgery, that doctor is just a postman. Shall we thank him? Yes, because we thank postman. But can we rely our hearts on him? We will die if we don't find the doctor. Doctor is just postman. If you have a promotion from a boss, you said, you have a very bad boss for 20 years. When they changed the boss, another boss came and he gave you the promotion. Oh, you rely on that new boss. He's only a postman. Even your parents are postmen. Sometimes we think we can't live without our parents. Yes, it's difficult. But I will tell you something. You can live without anyone in this earth if you know Allah. Ask the people of Gaza when they lost all the family in one moment. And the life will carry on. When you rely on Allah, He is self-sufficient. When my mother passed away 2010, Allah have mercy upon her, I was so close to my mom from very young age, till I get married, till I get children, all this. She passed away on Friday. That day, I sit down to say my adhkar. When I say my adhkar, it seems this is the first time I reflect deeply upon my adhkar. When I say La ilaha illallah, wallahi, I taste a flavor that day I've never tasted in my life. That you can lose anyone in this life if you know Allah Almighty. So He sent us the gifts in the postman. Don't rely your heart on people, on situation, on any material things. Never. That's why one of the first names Allah introduced Himself to His Prophet ﷺ is Al-Wakil. This is the second name revealed to Rasulullah ﷺ. There is Al-Akram, but Al-Akram come in a context. When Allah introduced Himself in Iqra, the first revelation, and then Al-Muddathir, and then Al-Muzammil. In these three surahs, there's only three names. Rabbuk, your Lord. Al-Akram, the most generous. That's why He take care about human being and send revelation for them. And the third is Al-Wakil. Rabbul Mashriq wal Maghrib la ilaha illa hu fattakhidhu wakila. Wakil is when you trust someone full, that you can, that's finished. I delegate this for that person, I trust him fully. If we trust Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, trust His plan for us, trust His commands to us, if we do that, we'll taste the flavor of Iman. That one, Ismullahi Wakil. Ismullahi Wakil. So in this rizq, to believe in Allah is to believe that He is Al-Yamna'u wa Yu'ti. Yu'ti wa Yamna'. In every single salah, Rasulullah used to say after salah, اللهم لا مانع لما أعطيت ولا معطي لما منعت ولا ينفع ذا الجد منك الجد. اللهم لا مانع لما أعطيت. No one can prevent me from what you provide to me. ولا معطي لما منعت. No one can give me what you, Allah, prevent me from. You know, this statement itself is make your tawheed very strong. You just need some examples of your life. So sometimes you deserve a promotion, and that boss, he prevents you from that. He just doesn't want to give you the promotion. If you know that Allah is the one who gives and the one who prevents, you will live in sakina, tranquility. Some people, they get anxiety, blood pressure, go to the hospital. All his thinking is about that person. He prevent me. He did that for me. He owns nothing. Ya miskeen. He's postman. If the gift come to him, he will give it to you. He postman. Why you rely on that person? Make it something bigger. And just creature of Allah. Allah is the one who prevent you. Allah is the one who give you. لا مانع لما أعطى ولا معطي لما منع. If you know that, you have sakina. Time doesn't come. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala doesn't give permission for that. Sakina. Look at that tranquility Tawheed give you. If someone prevent you of something, and in the opposite, if someone give you something, you'll say thank you. But thank you as a postman. You will never rely on him. No, at all. That's Allah. When you know that, you live with that sweetness of ata and sweetness of preventing and sweetness of giving from Allah only. And when you go deep, sometimes He prevents you from something, and you have contentment, then that preventing will become more sweeter than if He give you that thing. Sometimes it prevents you from children. Two couples come together. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. They love each other so much. They don't have children. Their life changed completely. They become from the people of Qiyamul Layl. In the middle of the night, they wake each other up. And they pray for Qiyamul Layl. They found out that the sweetness of ibadah and closeness is more better and much better than the children themselves. That's how sometimes prevent you from something and open your basira of something else. And this dunya is just for ibtila, just for test. And sometimes give you children after many years of closeness to Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. My teacher in university, Sheikh Muhammad Waliullah al-Nadwi, he get married, and after 13 years, Allah blessed him with 4 children in one go. 4 children after 13 years. So sometimes it prevents, when you think deeply about that Allah is the only one who gives, the only one who prevents, you will never get stressful because people prevent you from something. And you will never rely on people if they give you something. So you said, oh, we ask Allah that boss will always stay there. If he gone, Allah will bring another one. He is not the provider. Only Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala is the one. That's why Allah said, وَإِن يَمْسَسْكَ اللَّهُ بِضُرٍّ فَلَا كَاشِفَ لَهُ إلا هو. If Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala tests you from something, He said, وَإِن يَمْسَسْكَ. In Arabic, just touch. The test will touch you. And it is something, all what you see is bigger, test here is nothing. So when He tests you from tribulation or hardship, He is the only one can get you rid of that tribulation. Then He said, وَإِن يَمْسَسْكَ بِخَيْرٍ. If He gives you something good in your life, فَهُوَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. He has everything. If He wants to give you something, He will give you in a way you can't even imagine, because He's the one who has absolute power. And maybe some people who still think very narrow of you, He can give you everything, can give me everything. But what about that boss? He always there. Allah said immediately after that, وَهُوَ الْقَاهِرُ فَوْقَ عِبَادِهِ. La ilaha illallah. Qahir means He is the dominant over everything. Ya miskin, you think still about that creature. Then He will say, okay, if He can do everything, why doesn't give me immediately? He replied, وَهُوَ الْحَكِيمُ الْخَبِيرُ. Hakim here first now. He did that for a wisdom. Trust Him. When you trust Him, trust His plan, that will give you sakina. Sakina come only from Allah. Sakina is that status of tranquility, peace, that you go through tribulation and your heart is calm. That only from Allah. That's why Allah, when He talk about sakina, He always say, أنزل السكينة عليهم. Sakina descend to their hearts. In another ayah in this, Surah Yunus, the same beginning, وَإِن يَمْسَسْكَ اللَّهُ بِضُرٍّ فَلَا كَاشِفَ لَهُ إِلَّا هُ. When He tests you, He is the only one can remove that test. And He said, وَإِن يُرِدْكَ بِخَيْرٍ فَلَا رَادَّ لِفَضْلِهِ. If He want to give you blessing, no one can prevent Him from giving you abundance. فَلَا رَادَّ لِفَضْلِهِ. Then He said, يُصِيبُ بِهِ مَنْ يَشَاءُ. يُصِيبُ بِرَحْمَتِهِ مَنْ يَشَاءُ. Then He said, He give that gift to some people when He wished to do that. You may ask here, but not me. I am a sinful. I don't deserve it. I know my weaknesses. He replied to you, وَهُوَ الْغَفُورُ الرَّحِيمُ. This ayah, I spent one night long time ago. This ayah shocked me. Why? Why end with Ghafoor Rahim? When I recited this ayah the first time, I said, I expect Him to say, وَهُوَ الْكَرِيمُ. He is the most generous. Because He talk about He will give you whatever you want. He will give certain people whatever they want. And then I look, because sometimes when you see this, you think, no, that's not for me. That's for some pious people. Allah said, وَهُوَ الْغَفُورُ الرَّحِيمُ. He's the most, He will forgive you and give you something you can't imagine. إِنَّهُ اللَّهُ تبارك وتعالى. We end with here, He is the one who is Hayyun Qayyum. We elaborate in next time, inshallah. Many people, when they think about the Hayy, the all living, is the one to give life to all the creation. Absolutely. But also He is the one who gives the life for the heart. Allah talk about some people, they are dead, and some people, they are alive. If if you know Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, your heart is alive. If you're not, your heart is dead. Spiritually dead. May Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala revive our hearts and make us close to our Lord. Brothers and sisters, we'll continue next time. The names of Allah is the key to know Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Teach your children the names of Allah. Set a goal that in every single house we have a weekly lesson in the names of Allah. There's a lot of series there, in English, in Urdu, in Arabic. You just need to sit down, gather your children, switch on the TV, and watch it together, and then have a discussion. I want to end again with this video, just to think about this absolute knowledge, that the one who created everything in the universe, in the macro scale, he is the one also who created everything in the micro scale. Innahu Allah. I've just read some ayat when this video going on. I want you to reflect when you see this video. Alif Lam Mim Ra. تلك آيات الكتاب والذي أنزل إليك من ربك الحق ولكن أكثر الناس لا يؤمنون. الله الذي رفع السماوات بغير عمد ترونها ثم استوى على العرش وسخر الشمس والقمر كل يجري لأجل مسمى يدبر الأمر يفصل الآيات لعلكم بلقاء ربكم توقنون. وهو الذي مد الأرض وجعل فيها رواسي وأنهارا ومن كل الثمرات جعل فيها زوجين اثنين يغشي الليل النهار إن في ذلك لآيات لقوم يتفكرون. وفي الأرض قطع متجاورات وجنات من أعناب وزرع ونخيل صنوان وغير صنوان يسقى بماء واحد ونفضل بعضها على بعض في الأكل إن في ذلك لآيات لقوم يعقلون. أإله مع الله بل هم قوم يعدلون. أمن جعل الأرض قرارا وجعل خلالها أنهارا وجعل لها رواسي وجعل بين البحرين حاجزا أإله مع الله بل أكثرهم لا يعلمون. أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء ويجعلكم خلفاء الأرض أإله مع الله أإله مع الله أإله مع الله قليلا ما تذكرون. صلى الله على عبد رسول سيدنا محمد.